Okay, Windows closed. Wait, sorry, I'll come to sharing the screen now. You can already all go, if you want to menti.com. Most of you should know the routine by now. Go to menti.com. We shared links in both the WhatsApp group as well as in the Zoom chat. If you go to menti.com, you can also use the code 15069182. 15069182. And that is for everyone to get on to a bit of participation. Doesn't matter if you're online or if you're in Lilongwe, as long as you have internet and a mobile device, you can take part in sharing a bit of your impressions, your takeaways from the day. Just click on one of the links or go to menti.com and use the code 15069182. And you should also be able to see the code on your screens. I see a couple of thumbs up. If you want to let us know that you're there, there's on the bottom right-hand side, there's a little thumbs up button, which you can press, and then we know a couple of people have arrived on the slides. I can't see anyone else, so I assume that you can see the presentation, and I'll just step to the next slide. So first question, as usual, as the last days, what was your favorite session today? Was it journalism education in vernacular, where we had Suzio Chitete with a lot of passion for Chitumbuka and Chichewa, telling how much of a difference it does make if you engage community journalists in particular in their language? Then we had AI in the newsroom, where Malik Mlela from IHAB Online, Edith Kambalame, and Vincent Kumwenda discussed in presence in Lilongwe on how they use AI in the newsrooms. Or was it human-centered design with Audrey Parmentier going through the steps? Or was it the presentation by Joseph Mwale from the Nation publications on journalism education? Or was your favorite session Lulu's presentation of the takeaway from the whole session, which was actually my highlight and both of the day? And I always really love how you put all of that, the discussions over hours into these graphic recordings. I really always love, because it condenses it, and I'm always impressed by the level of drawing and the skills. Okay, but today the discussion, AI in the newsroom, is leading. Was an impressive discussion, also covering a lot of ground, and I'm really looking forward to see the tools from IHAB Online and to really try out how they work and what they can actually do for newsrooms. Okay, I'll go to the next slide. Can I clear that? Someone seems to be able to paint into the slides. So your takeaway from today, just share a couple of thoughts. Just type them in your phone. What did you take away from today? I think for me, one of the most important takeaways really is maybe it's not a takeaway, it's kind of a challenge. Like, how do we bring together that level of importance that we saw in the discussion with Suzio, that your language actually matters, how you do journalism and how you how you learn journalism. And then we see that the AI tools that we're seeing today are particularly struggling on languages that do not have a big written text body on the internet, because there's just simply not enough material on the web to create a machine learning model that can then replicate or translate even the different languages. Yeah, and then here's a couple of takeaways. Be cautious of information you feed to AI tools. Yes, I think that the question, what do we feed to AI tools, is a recurring event. Not only careful what you give away, but also how can we kind of combat the bias that AI has. Collaboration is key. Ways to establish audience needs from human-centered design sessions. Local languages are superior. AI is here to stay. We as journalists just need to accept it and adapt accordingly. Feed vernacular content into AI. We should put local information on the internet. Digital revolutions should be mainstreamed. Strive to remain relevant. Getting the language right is key for your reach. The future belongs to those who prepare for it. There are the dinosaurs again, Zenzele. Mainstream newsrooms need to catch up on AI. ChatGPT is just an aspect of AI. AI is very broad. Always ask questions and listen what people want. We will not be instrumentalized by robots, hopefully. For journalism education to remain relevant, there should be deliberate collaborative efforts with the industry. Let me see what our sorting algorithm makes of that. It takes a bit to sort today. Collaborate and the mainstream newsrooms that need to catch up, and the digital revolution. And then there's AI, vernacular, relevance, and future preparation. Well, local languages and vernacular should be one cluster probably. Let's unsort this. Okay, next question. What now? So looking back at the last 3 days, please share a couple of ideas. What do we need to do now, both journalists as well as journalism educators, to empower African AI in journalism? Keywords is enough here. Just share a couple of ideas. What should we do now? Get to be trained on AI. Yes, learn and understand. Yeah, for me, it's really also about understanding it. And I think the best way to understand that is to experiment with it and to reflect then on those experiments, as we've seen with Alice, for example, to really try what happens if you use a virtual AI generated presenter, but then also to ask the audience, okay, what does that do to you? How do you feel about that? How do you see that? That is really, really important, I think, to experiment and to reflect. Collaborate among newsrooms, benchmark with the aim to learn from one another. Start to explore ways to incorporate AI to our African context. Experiment. Insist on core journalism principles to ensure lazy journalists don't hide behind AI. And maybe also the not so lazy journalists should insist on the core principles when they use AI. Do research and incorporate AI in curricula. Think first, then make the leap forward and keep thinking. Always a good idea. Must embrace an AI and be flexible to learn more from it and innovate. Work on AI policy frameworks. Best start with SADC model policy that would feed into national frameworks or regional frameworks. We've seen in the past that a lot of the global players in tech do not really respond to individual national policies, but they might play if there's a regional approach to it. Collaboration among tech, journalism, and ethics. Innovate or die. Continuous learning and adaptation. Ethical standards not tampered with. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges. How do we maintain ethical standards while learning? Hold related conferences to feedback and assess how far we gave implanted AI in our newsrooms. or how far we have implemented AI in our newsrooms, come up with a SADC-wide newsletter on journalism, education, and AI. Maybe that's a chance to so there's a newsletter from Develop AI, Paul McNally, who also was there at least at the first day, on Substack, where you can subscribe and you get a lot of inspiring news around AI in Southern Africa, or basically across Africa as well. So if you're really interested in that topic and you want to engage, that is a way. There's also a WhatsApp community of journalists working on AI that you can join. Let me accept that AI makes mistakes. AI can be sneaky when you start using it. So be the final gatekeeper. Okay. Day 2 was use the sliders to say if you had fun, if you learned, if you got inspiring ideas, met interesting people, or thought about critical questions. If you agree or if you disagree. How was it's day 2 again? So I thought I correct. It's day 3, obviously. Sorry, my mistake. We're getting a lot of funny lines on the screen. Critical questions. It's interesting how in old days that was kind of the main issue, to think about critical questions. But we also had fun. Good at fun as well. Inspiring ideas. Learning was also good. And we also met interesting people. Just use the sliders to evaluate the day. Let's go. And this is a chance for you to share where we can improve the conference overall. So on those 3 days where we had live events combined with the Zoom sessions from Windhoek, from Bulawayo, from Lilongwe, what can we improve? Always important to give feedback, also where we have room for improvement. I mean, we've struggled a lot with internet connectivity, obviously, so that's something we need to look into. But maybe you have other comments, other things to share where we could improve. Better connection, yes, and maybe several connections and backup lines. Online catering, that's an inspiring idea. Maybe something for human-centered design workshop. Is there a way to deliver online coffee? Include online audience, more engagement, more physical meetings, variety of presenters, more days. Have music in the breaks. I second that. In the last years, we always had good music in the breaks, but it's a bit more difficult if we're streaming on Facebook as well. Then we are a bit more limited when it comes to our choice of music, because the live stream then gets cut as soon as you use copyrighted music. So maybe there's a bit of a view behind the scenes here. Combine all 3 into one. Audience feedback sessions. Better connection, 16 responses. More journalism students to be included. Yes. Duration of conference. 2 responses. Okay. So overall, the conference was really good, okay, or ouch. So this is not just on day 3, but please evaluate the whole conference. How did you like it? 3 days of discussing journalism education, AI, innovation in newsrooms. And I think Zoe, Zenzele, Stephanie, and Golden can already get ready for the closing of the conference. Looks like a good vote, really good conference. I agree. I really enjoyed the variety of aspects and also the connection between the 3 days, how you could really feel that people discussing today or referred back to day 1 and day 2 and connected the experiences. Okay. I'll leave the question open, but I'll stop sharing now and hand over to Lilongwe and the colleagues.